Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Good evening, folks, and welcome inside the Hector Arena as we get set here for some U18 Maritime female action between the Greenfoot Capitals and the Northern Selects. Before the game, we'll get a quick recognition for the ladies that won the award, the silver medal on Team Atlantic last week. So we recognize the ladies that won silver there recently for Team Atlantic. As we get set for puck drop here moments away, Hallie Rose McLean will face off against Beaton. We're underway here from the Hector Arena. The Capitals come into this game with a 10-5 record, 21 points on the year. The Selects come into this season, or this game, with a 13-2 record, 26 points on the year. They come into the game with 85 goals for, only 15 against on the season. Pretty impressive start to their year. So that puck kicked away to the wall and worked back here into the neutral zone. Puck worked up ahead into the feet of Prince all the way down. No icing on the call. Picked up, McIntyre works it off far side wall, right off the bench, working it up into the neutral zone, and in is Evelyn McLeod as it's turned over at the blue line. Once again, here's Kearney trying to work it in and offside. We'll get a first whistle of the evening. Thanks for tuning in here live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Crothers. As the face-off here, Ella Driscoll, she'll dig in on her forehand side, looks like she'll try to win it back. She gets tied up there on the draw. Puck worked ahead, chipped up ahead, but kept down there. Puck worked back there by Wilkie. Centering pass picked off Kearney. Over the blue line on her forehand. She'll push it in deep. She goes down there. Ainsley clubs in, and Driscoll shots, and she scores on a centering pass. Ella Driscoll buries one home, and the Capitals lead 1-0 here in the first period. 18:49 remaining in the first. And Ella Driscoll buries one on a centering pass from number 44, Zara Prince. 88. That's Kearney. And the Caps are up 1-0. That goes past the starting goaltender in net for the Subways, number 1, Amy Field. Down 200 feet, starting in net for the Caps. Excuse me. Number 30, Lauren Delaney. So that puck's held in. Here's a chance off the side. Dowling shot her into the chest of Field. She'll leave a rebound there for a second and then hold on shortly after. So Kearney picking up the assist on the Driscoll goal, and the Capitals off to a 1-0 lead here. In the first period, puck worked back to the point, and down low, O'Dane. Down low, Charlotte O'Dane works it back to the point. Shot there, Walters. Works it down low. That's Sadie Walters. Down for Dowling. She'll work it down. She'll cut back. Nice move there as Grinton tries to pinch her off. Puck worked out. Dowling trying to get a chance away. He'll be picked up and chipped out by Hallie Rose McLean. McLean 32 points on the season, leading the league in points. No icing, as Walter will have to go all the way back for it. As mentioning, Hallie Rose McLean leading the league in points with 32 in only 15 games this season. That average was just over 2 points per game this year so far. D to D, Leslie picks it up, looks over her options, works up for Dowling. Dowling trying to chip it out, can't do so. Good job to hold the line. Bria Tanner works it down. Walter reverse for Leslie. She'll work it back to the far side. Asbridge trying to chip it out. Lexi McIntyre steps down on the wall and pinches it down the wall. Keeps it down low. Tanner trying to work it out. Reversed. Tanner in the corner. Trying to work it to the point. Fans on it. Chisholm now back for McIntyre. Works it back into the neutral zone. McIntyre makes a nice little cut move, and she'll work it back up in over the line. McIntyre cuts the middle. Fans on the shot as it's poked off of her stick by Walter. Far side, cycled down low. Picked up by MacArthur. MacArthur, she comes in to this game third in the league in points. She's got 25 points on the year in just 15 games, which averaged her just about 1.75 points per game as it's worked back into the neutral zone and chipped in past McLean, and going back for that puck will be Conley. Conley going to cut up the wall, turned over. McHenry on her stick, gets it knocked off to the half wall. Puck worked back to the point. LaPierre steps up, holds it momentarily, but then worked out. Power sends it back in, and they'll get on the forecheck. McHenry in there, pressuring down below the line. Work back to the point. Good job to get it back there was Abigail Kelly as it's blocked. Worked out into the neutral zone, over the blue line now, and that's Anna MacArthur. She'll get it in deep. She'll cut back down in the corner, work it up on the half wall for McCaddy. McCaddy will cycle it down low, picked off, and work back up the wall. Good job to work it out into the neutral zone by Georgie, and she'll turn it over, though, and sending that puck in is McCaddy. Jodry picks it up just in front of center. She'll dump it into her own bench, and it'll stop play here. 15:29 remaining on the clock here in the first period. Face-off looks like it's going to go to the other side of us here to the right. Just below us here. Face-off, battled there into the feet of the official, worked back and sent in all the way around to the far side on a hard dump there by Layla Burris. Puck worked back into the neutral zone. Richards dumps it all the way back in deep. Picking the puck up, wheeling Wilkie. She'll cut back and backhand it over to the far side. Power trying to work it out. Can't do so. Wilkie separating puck from body. She'll lose an edge, work up to the wall, stepping in from the point. Was Lila Burris. She'll work it towards the net, picked off, beaten. Up into the neutral zone for Jodry. She works it over the line, and Nate dumps it in. Chip and chase for herself. Nice play. Jodry centering past field. Pokes it up. Driscoll off the bench. She'll pick it up, work it high. Cycle it down low. Doesn't connect with anyone. It'll be worked up. Here's a chance on a breakaway. Hallie Rose McLean sneaks it behind. Good stick on the back check by Marley Payne. Payne works it up to the far side and sent right back in, though. McIntyre works it down along the wall. Sending it up to the wall. Kearney trying to work it out. She gets pitched off by McLean and sent back in. Payne centering pass. Here's Driscoll. Poked off of her stick and turned over. McIntyre works it back in over the blue line. Lexi McIntyre shot. Good job to get a stick on it. Was Leslie as Payne picks it up, chips it off the glass, and works it out into the neutral zone. No icing. Is having to go back for that puck is number 11 for that's Kate Morrow. Morrow works it up into the neutral zone. Icing hand in the air on the far side. Waved off as Walter and number 19, Fife Francis McDonald got to the puck first. Worked back on the half wall now. Picked up McDonald. Francis McDonald worked it in front there for Bria Tanner. She got a shot away, but couldn't get enough on it. Dowling picks up with speed on her backhand. She'll drop the shoulder, cut to the net, and it'll get poked off of her stick. And behind the net of Field, battled out front. Dowling gets ripped down. Waiting to see if a call up in the air. No, says the official. 13:08 remaining on the first period clock. 1-0 lead here for the Capitals offensive zone draw. To the glove hand side of Field over on the far side. Only 15 goals allowed on the year for the duo for the Selects. That's a pretty impressive stat. So that's just 1 goal per game, and they've allowed that one already here in the game so far. So we'll have to wait and see. The Capitals can't break their Selects average on the season. McHenry, power in there. All 3-on-2 battle, worked back to the point. Walk to the middle, shot blocked by McHenry as Ainsley Consley walked to the middle and couldn't get it past the stick of McHenry. Sydney Power picks it up on the half wall and works it up into the neutral zone. She'll go one-on-one, overskate the puck, and McHenry dumps it in deep. Power and McHenry and Kearney off for a change. Stepping up, Wilkie far side, all the way down, and an icing call. 12-10 remaining in the first period. Offensive zone draw, one back to the point by the Caps. Shot there, and Field holds on for a rebound once again. It'll click off about 4 seconds from the clock. 12:06 and an offensive or defensive zone switch up for the Selects. Hallie Rose McLean in now to take the draw. Battled for. Here's McHenry. She gets tripped up. Oh, sorry, that's Prince. She got tripped up. No call on the play. Worked back through the neutral zone and in over the blue line. Drop pass. McLean shot past the glove hand side of goaltender Lauren Delaney. Delaney getting the start here for the Caps in this mid-evening matchup, and whistled down for a high stick, and a change up for the Caps now coming up. Face-off going to be just outside of the Capitals zone here with 11:44 remaining on the clock. Puck one back. Leslie chipping it up the wall. It worked up into the offensive zone by Kearney. Over the blue line on her forehand now down to the far side. Kearney centering pass knocked away. Parsons thought she had a one-timer set up in front. Cutting back on the far side, that's Anna MacArthur. As I mentioned, MacArthur coming into the game third in points, 25 points on the season. As she picks it up now, works it over the blue line. MacArthur, toe drag over the blue line, works it in. Cuts back, she's pinched off on the far side. Good job to pinch her off on the far wall. Was captain Ella Driscoll as Leslie picks it up, chips it. MacArthur trying to work it back down low as Parsons picks it up and works it over the blue line. She'll send it down full length past Lexi McIntyre, and an icing call. Trying to sneak onto the ice. Here was Walter. The official standing right there says, no, ma'am. This face-off's gonna go all the way, work back to the point. McIntyre down the wall, sent around to the corner. Payne steps up and lays a big hit there. Play continues on. Driscoll turns it over, sending it back in deep. Payne picks it up, works it up the wall. Parsons can't control it. Shot in. Delaney blockered it in behind her net. Wraparound attempt, jammed at twice there by Martin. She works it out front. Parsons picks it up into the feet, though, of Kearney, and now worked out by Leslie. She'll get center and dump it in. She'll stop up and head off for a change now. Right off the bench and chipped up ahead, turned over and sent back off the bench, picked up far side. Working at D2D was Dorion. Ashbridge picks it off. Cutting to the net, Ashbridge gets taken down. Another chance in front. Oh, Dan trying to get it away. McLean picks it up, works it back outside. The ringette line turned over and sent right back in down deep. Good job on the forecheck by the Caps here so far in the early goings of the first period. Over halfway has expired here so far. As it's worked back outside the blue line, just a couple feet, and sent right back in by Kyrie Dorion. Walter, reverse play for Dowling. Close side half wall. Chips it back. Sent in back by Dorion, though, as she holds the line once again. Puck pinned on the wall by LaPierre, kicked free. O'Dan gets her stick knocked out of her hand. Still no call on the play. They'll play on. Worked around. Dowling up the wall. She picks it up, trying to chip it past Dorion. She'll hold the line. Dorion goes down. Dowling now chips it out offside. Gets called as it went out and right back over for an offside call. Dowling trying to work it out. Good job there. Good effort by the left winger, Haley Dowling. Face off here just in front of us. McHenry will dig in on her forehand side. She'll face off against Frances McDonald. McDonald wins it back, and that's sent in immediately off the stick of Lila Burris to the far side. Picked up, now worked into the neutral zone is Abigail Kelly. McHenry will dump it in. Field out to stop it up. She'll leave it, though, and far side pressured by Power. Turned over McHenry. Over top of the dots, trying to work it back down low. She gets tied up. Now it's picked up here with speed. Burris over the blue line. Good back check there by Kelly as she gets all the way back and battles it forward in the corner. McHenry works it back to the point for Tanner. Shot blocked by Kelly's foot inattentively, and McHenry chipping it up the wall. Stepping up, Bria Tanner. She gets dumped. McHenry picks it up, works it on the far side for Wilkie. Wilkie can't get it poked around off the bench. Is MacArthur right into the action. Around for Frances McDonald, shot there and holding it against her post for a whistle is Lauren Delaney. Shots 5-3 in favor of the Capitals so far. They lead 1-0 here. 7:44 remaining in the first period. Puck one into the corner. Picked off by MacArthur, though, as she tried to work it out front. Good job on the second effort to work it out was Carly Beaton. Far side, chipped up into the neutral zone, picked off and worked right back in over the line. Good job was Boyle. She gets a shot away. She's going to pressure. Payne turns it over. McLean's shot blocked by her own teammate in front. As it's worked out, Prince from her knees to Beaton, trying to work it around McIntyre. McLean sends it in deep now. Leslie picks it up in behind her net. Hard rim up the wall, back to the point. It looked like she hit it maybe twice. Prince chips it up ahead for Jodry. She has one-on-one on her backhand. Shot, blocker saved by Field. Over to the half wall, Driscoll chipping it down. Picked up in front of her own net, now worked in behind. Cycle play for McIntyre. Off the wall, can't get it out. Now she'll go back in the corner, work it D2D over to the far side. Sent up the wall, chipped up. Here's McLean now in the neutral zone. McLean gets center, sends it in. She'll peel off for a change. Too far of the reach, picked off and sent right back in. Off the bench, Carrie Dorion getting right back into the action. Good cover there by her forward Martin. She got a shot away, fanned on it though. Chip past the feet there and all the way down. No icing as it was tipped. All the way back, Conley. She'll wheel, try to pick up speed. Can't get it around the stick though of the forecheck of Kearney. O'Dan there now pressuring the puck. She'll poke it away. Good job by Charlotte O'Dan to get that puck turned over momentarily though, as she has a good back check there, keeps it onside. takes a bump for her efforts as it's worked out by the selects and sent back. All the way back in her own zone, rimming it up the wall, is LaPierre. Nice centering pass under the stick, though, and it's turned over. Work it back, Rogan Vent up the far side. So that's sent in off the stick of Sean Richards, and right back out, though, into the neutral zone. Burris steps up, dumps it in, gets a stick on it, though. Good job there was Dowling. Burris picks it up, walks the blue line, shot, blocker save, rebound, pad save. McLean was alone in front. Shot there. Delaney paddled into the corner. McLean trying to work it up the wall, picked up. Here's Odin over the line. She'll dump it in as she hits center, and Field will stop it up behind her net. Chipped up the wall. Harlan will step in. She'll work it down to the far side corner. Worked up, far side, centering pass for McLean. Good job to work it. There was Anna MacArthur, but it's turned over. McLean now picks it up with some space. Shot there, sent wide. 4:48 remaining here in the first period. Shots 8-6 in favor of the Capitals as Kelly picks it up. Backhand, spinning back, drop pass to her point, and net off as crashing into the net, an interference call. It looks like going into the net was number 18, Rogan Vint. She gets up and she'll head off. It looks like it'll be Power will head to the box. 2 for interference. As might have been Carly Boyle that was getting up from in front of the net. Interference call, power play here for the Selects. The Selects coming in with a 32% power play rating as the PK for the Capitals sits at 87%. McIntyre offside as she walked across the line. So a face-off will go to the far side, and an interference will be the call. Puck sent all the way back in off the draw. Payne picks it up, centers it all the way down. 200 from in behind her goal line. Field plays it over to the far side. Jodry trying to pick it off, and she succeeds. Trying to center, though, for Prince, and it's turned over. McLean through the neutral zone with some speed. McLean over the blue line. She'll stop up just inside the ringette line and stop up, working it back to the point. McIntyre, midpoint, works it off. Burris shot. That's sent far side wide to the far side corner. Jodry pinches it off, and it's sent all the way down, and a full change coming up for the Capitals, at least up front. McIntyre, far side, cuts to the middle, around O'Dane. O'Dane, good pressure there by her. Cutting back, McIntyre, far side pass, doesn't connect. Nick goes all the way down, icing called here, getting charged to the Selects. No change coming up for them. 3:29 remaining on the clock in the first period, 55 seconds on the power play remaining for them. Trying to work it through the feet. Beaton gonna have to retreat back as O'Dan trying to work it through the feet off the draw. Worked back up over the line, sent back in on the rim by McCaddy. Walter, she'll stop, pin it up against the wall, try to pin it out and kill off as much time as she can. Picked up, worked D to D, point shot, blocker save, rebound under the stick as it bounced up and trying to bat it out of the air, but it went laid flat. She swatted over top of it. Looked like it was number 12, Carrie Dorion. Picked up. Coach saying no free sticks, no free six. 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Kick save. Work back to the point. Dorion shot sent wide. Far side, stepping up. Boyle. She'll work it back. Dorion to the point. Shot. Glove down, held on to. Walter mixing it up in front, it looks like there, with Sean Richards. Good battle there, Sadie Walter. Face off. Glove hand side here of Delaney. Picked up. Turned over in the slot. McLean shot scores! Hallie Rose McLean make it 33 points on the year on a turnover and a shot. Beat Lauren Delaney glove side, and Hallie Rose McLean adds on to her total. The league leading point getter Hallie Rose McLean with a wrist shot glove side, and it's tied 1-1 here inside the Hector Arena. Her point coming unassisted as she turned it over. Burris shot there off the glove of Delaney, and in behind Harlan working it up the wall. Kearney trying to work it back out. Burris shot there off the stick, off the end boards. McLean shot. Glove down and held on to by Delaney as a bouncing puck there bobbled around. Settling it down was the veteran Lauren Delaney, and the whistle will bring a change to the Capitals side. Face off in the defensive zone. New line out there for them. See if they can't get that puck out. Dowling chips it out now through the neutral zone. Dowling will pressure, and an offside call at the line. Stop play once again. 1:50 remaining on the clock. Tied game here. Hallie Rose McLean tied it up on a nice wrist shot on a nice back check. Turnover right in the slot. She let one go, and it beat Lauren Delaney high glove. And we're tied up at 1 here. It's a minute and a half remaining in the first period as it's sent right back in by Tanner. Far side, chipped out into the neutral zone by Asbridge. Worked back, almost over skating. It was McIntyre. She'll step right back up and over the blue line. Onside, says the official. McIntyre trying to cut around Payne, poked away, and chipped back into the neutral zone, where Carly Boyle will collect it. She'll chip it through the feet of Dowling. Picked up Leslie, trying to chip it all the way back, right off the bench. Here's a chance for Beaton. She'll drop the shoulder, cut back. Last minute to play here in the opening frame. Beaton works it back up top, over top of the ringette line, up over the close to the blue line. Shot blocked off the stick of Walter. Chipped up ahead. Here's Tanner, toe drag. Here's Bria Tanner, backhand off the side of the net. And in behind will battle up the wall. That was Jodry trying to chip it out. Sent over. Walter, far side. Chipped up. It looked like it went off of something, maybe a high stick. They'll play on. McLean trying to chip it in off the official. Picked up here, MacArthur. Making a move around one. MacArthur now over the blue line, in on her backhand. She'll cut to the net. MacArthur shot off the post on the outside. Centering pass. Picked up. Down low. Nice move to cut back. McHattie to MacArthur, and they score. With 4 seconds remaining on the clock, the Subways take a lead 2-1 here at the end of the first period. And what a feed by McHattie to set up MacArthur, and she'll have her 26th point on the season. That'll help her stay in third place. So MacArthur from McHattie to finish the period with only 4 seconds remaining on the clock. We'll be back here for a second period of action on High Button Sports after this short intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back here for our second period of action between the Northern Subway Selects and the Greenfoot Capitals as we get set for our second period puck drop here live from the Hector Elite Arena on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Carruthers. As turnover right off the dump in, Field left it there and centered was right off the backhand on the turnover was Kelly. Tried to work it out, Asbridge tried to work it out front. Couldn't get it out there, went off the side of the net. Face off, gonna stay inside. Field held on as the rebound sat next to her. Puck went in, Asbridge cycled back for O'Dane. Down low, O'Dane. Down low, she'll cycle on her backhand. Here's Asbridge. Beatrice Asbridge spinning off a bump. Down low, in to help out. Dowling cutting back in the corner, pokes it. Asbridge, wraparound attempt. Pad save, Field picked up by Asbridge in the corner. Rebound, shot glove save, Field off the outside of her glove. McIntyre tried to poke it out to the point, stepped up on by Leslie. She'll back check McIntyre through the neutral zone over center and dump it in. Payne chipping it up into the neutral zone. Gonna go to retrieve that in her own zone. Hallie Rose McLean, the captain for the Selects this season. The league leading point getter. She has 33 points now on the season as she picked up a goal in the first period. McIntyre turns it over just inside the blue line, offside call. A little bit of a delayed one. We'll get our first stoppage a minute and 7 seconds into the second period. 2-1 lead for the Selects coming into the second period. They have 81 goals on the year to the Capitals 35. Now they have 83 goals on the year, and it is not even Christmas time as it's worked in on her backhand, gets closed off. Good defensive play by the defenseman. That was the forward. That was power on the defensive play there. As this sent in, losing an edge out front. Field had to be careful. She held on to that on the defenseman trying to cut back in the corner. Ainsley Conley got tangled up and puck went off of her stick right out front. Field grabbed it and held on for a whistle. Face off. Driscoll will dig in, trying to push it forward on the draw. Kearney will battle in the corner. Kearney cycles into the feet though, and Driscoll in there with Kearney battling on the wall. Sean Richards waits on the third person out of the pile. Picked up and chipped out by Dorion through the neutral zone. Dorion with some speed over the blue line on her forehand. She'll work it down below the goal line. She gets pinched off in the corner. Driscoll in there to help out. A good center min support there. Worked back to the point. Shot blocked. Another shot. Worked all the way towards the front of the net. Cleared away. Wilkie picks it up behind her own net, and she'll work it up the wall. Parsons chipping it, and that's worked back through the neutral zone over center, and dumping it in is Kearney. She'll give chase. Field will play it around on her forehand. Prince off the bench, trying to keep it in. It's worked out. D Walter will find LaPierre on the far side, gets center, and dumps it all the way down. And behind, Field out to play it. She'll one-hand backhand it around to the far side. They'll connect cleanly with Kate Morrow. It's a nice play. Finds McLean. McLean loses in the feet of LaPierre. Prince picks it up. Chipping it up the wall. Losing the footing was Burris. It goes back. Having to go back was Grinton, and she clears it back up to center. McLean off the official all the way in, deep and around. Walter picks it up here in the neutral zone. That'll be beaten, chipping it up ahead. And a battle here. Prince trying to work it in. Walter works it back. Pass up ahead. Finds Jodry. She'll chip it in around the defenseman. That's Kyla Boyle. Reverse play. Chipped up the wall, centering pass, and worked back into the neutral zone where it's turned over. Nice play to dump it back in was Leslie. Just over the blue line, Asbridge picks it up towards the net. O'Dane can't get a stick on it. Rebound still there, and that was loose, and a whistle went. The official thought Field covered up the puck. Asbridge was there trying to bury the rebound home and sent the rebound wide, but the puck was loose. Field did not have it under her glove like the official thought. And a face-off's going to stay inside. Good pressure from the Capitals here in the early going. They trail the shots 12-11. O'Dane in on the face-off. She'll face off, it looks like there, against number 19. That's Fife Francis McDonald as it's worked back into the neutral zone. Sent right back in, all the way in deep. Good job by Marley Payne. Field out to play it. She'll leave it for McIntyre. She'll pick it up with speed. Lexi McIntyre represented Team Atlantic a couple weeks ago. They won silver. Payne with a hip check, and that'll draw a call from the back official and a roughing call. And Marley Payne's going to go to the box. Roughing the call. And the power play that's sitting at 93% on the season is going to take the ice. McHattie, MacArthur, and McLean up front. Burris and McIntyre on the point for the Selects. 2-minute power play, 16 minutes exactly on the clock remaining here in the second period in a power play. Currently running probably number 1 in the league. It's pretty hard to get much better than that. Shot there blocked by Driscoll into the corner, cleared around to the far side. Burris holds the line. She'll walk it across, pass it over up top. McIntyre back for Burris. Cross ice pass. McLean shot and scores! Posting in Hallie Rose McLean, and she's got 34 points on the season. 16 games. This is the 16th game she's played this year, and she now has 34 points on the year. The league leading point getter, and she'll face off back at center. 15:38 remaining in a power play that improved once again. They're 50% on the evening. 1 for 2 on the power play are the Selects. Worked in, stopped up by Delaney. Walter trying to cycle it. She'll get pinned up against the wall. Now it's worked up the wall. McIntyre steps up. McHattie turned over. McLean, high slot, picks it up, looking for the third goal. Worked back. McIntyre walks in. Blocked. Shot, and Lapierre put it in her own net. And that'll make it 4-1. On a own goal, it looks like Hallie Rose McLean's going first. We'll wait and see on who the official point getter is. But McIntyre and Burris picking up the assist on the power play goal to make it 3-1. Now a quick answer, just a couple, like less than a minute later. That was only 24 seconds later. Make it 4-1 now for the Selects as they lead. 5 minutes into the second period. They came into the second period leading 2-1. They've added 2 in the opening 5. We'll wait to see the official call. We'll see if it's the hat trick for McLean or not. Picked up with some speed through the neutral zone. She'll take her time, slow things down, dump it in. That's Sean Richards. Leslie picks it up. Richards on the forecheck, turns it over. Sean Richards, far side corner. She's tried to get it back down low. She got bumped down. Battle in the corner. Richards has the puck lost in her body. Worked back to the point. Shot there, blocked off the stick. Another shot, blocked off the body. Good job by Zara Prince, and she works it out. Up ahead, Jodry. She had the first shot blocked. She works it in. She'll cut to the middle. Jodry shot. Glove saved by Field. She'll hold on for a whistle. So McLean will pick up her third goal. And McIntyre are going to pick up the assist. So McLean and McIntyre are going to pick up. McLean's going to pick up her third goal, and McIntyre her second assist in a 4-1 lead now, as McIntyre has a hat trick, and she has now 35 points on the year. Driscoll down low. She'll cycle. Here's a chance, 2-on-1 in front of the net. Shot high up over the glove side of Field. Coach telling the Caps they just got to stay up. They got to stay up. They got to stay positive here. McLean with 3 on the evening. She works it over the blue line. McLean works it in. 1-on-2. Cycle play down low. Centering pass picked off. Here's a chance. Blocked though by Harlan in front of the net. Wilkie, she'll work it up the far side wall, trying to find Kearney. Stepping up. Burris holds it down low. Kearney chip play back to the point. Sent in. Off the stick, Wilkie poking it up to the point. Parsons went down to help her. Not out though. Now it will be worked out into the neutral zone and sent right back in off the stick of Allie Chisholm. She'll give chase down low, reverse play. Harlan in the corner now. Looks over her options, works up Parsons. Attaches it for O'Dane over the red line, now over the blue line. O'Dane works it in. Little stick work there, turns it over. Centering pass, chipped up ahead, too far to the reach. Delayed icing call here. It goes all the way down. Walter back for it, an icing call here. 12:54 remaining on the second period clock. And a face-off in the offensive zone for the Caps. They trail by 3. They open the scoring, then 4 unanswered. 3 coming off the stick of the leading point getter in the league. The other coming off the third highest point getter in the league. Behind the forward for the Rockets, Alexi Daniel. Puck worked back in by the Selects. Lapierre up for Asbridge. Battled on the half wall. Sent back. Walter and behind her own net. She'll look over her options, work it up off the glass. Held in on the far side. McIntyre dumps it back down low. Lexi McIntyre has 2 assists on the evening. Dowling picks it up far side on her backhand. Centering pass picked off at center ice by Carly Boyle. She tried to get it back in deep now. Successfully dumped in over on the far side. Good job there by Evelyn Scott. Or sorry, that was Carrie Conley. Here's a chance. MacArthur knocked off of her stick in front of the net and turned back. O'Dane through the neutral zone. Gets center, dumps it in, leaves it there. Not a hard dump. Cutting to the net. Asbridge tried to get a shot away. She'll lose an edge, and far side trying to chip it out. Richards, she'll leave it up ahead. McLean over the line. McLean gets pinched off by Beaton, far side. Chipped down into the neutral zone. Here's a chance for Jodry over the line. Zara Prince out off the bench. Into the corner. Prince battles for it now. Good job to keep her to the outside was Conley. Cycle play down low. Jodry. Down low. Leaves it for Beaton. Up over top of the circles. Up to the point. Beaton walks across the line. For Payne up top. Payne shot. High glove save. Field. I was going up and over the net. 11-11 remaining on the clock. 4-1 lead for the Selects here in the second period on a hat trick from Hallie Rose McLean and a goal as well from Anna MacArthur. So the big point getters for the Selects coming to play here this evening inside the Hector Arena in Pictou, Nova Scotia. Thanks for tuning in on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers as that'll be turned over. Power works it back to the point. Leslie shot tipped. That goes wide. Close side picked up here with a little bit of speed. Centering pass doesn't connect cleanly as Evelyn McLeod picks it up, trying to cut to the middle, leaves it out front. Here's a chance. McLeod shot. Pad saved by Delaney. Worked back to the point, held at the line, sent back in by Grinton. Down low, spinning. Here's Richards. Trying to cut out of the corner. Richards gets it poked off her stick. Kearney centers up in the air. Glove down, hand pass right onto the stick of Richards. And that'll stop play. Face off. Going to come outside of the zone. Driscoll will dig in against McLean here on the draw. Worked ahead by Driscoll. Turned over though. Trying to work it up ahead was Parsons as it's worked back. Wilkie in her own zone. Sent over to the far side. Harlan will go get it. On her forehand. Harlan trying to chip it out. Can't do so as it's sent back in down low. McLean trying to center out front. Sent in behind the net though. Driscoll will battle with McLean. Driscoll picks it up on the half wall. Here with some speed. Ella Driscoll, the captain for the Capitals, turns it over at center. Parsons picks it up over the blue line. Now Parsons shot glove safe. Field holds on and will freeze play for a rebound with 9:54 remaining on the clock. Offensive zone draw for the Caps. Dowling, O'Dane, and Asbridge out there. Walter and Lapierre on the point for this offensive zone draw. Puck won back by the Selects, work D2D for McIntyre. She picks it up, trying to wheel it out. McIntyre takes a bump. She gets tied up with Beatrice Asbridge on the back check. Chip play off the glass all the way down. McIntyre's going to have to get back. Asbridge pressuring her, the two number 7s in a foot race, and McIntyre gets there first. Icing called against the Capitals. Good back check there by Beatrice Asbridge. Make sure Lexi McIntyre didn't get her feet moving up ice with more speed than she already had going up ice. But an offensive zone draw now for the Selects. Fife Francis McDonald works it back. Here's a chance, shot right into the chest, rebound picked up by O'Dane. And picked up and wheeled out into the neutral zone. Charlotte O'Dane trying to get it around McIntyre off her skate. Now she'll chip it back, delayed icing, picked up off the bench and worked back. LaPierre chips up ahead, no icing on the call. As it could have been touched up at center ice. O'Dane in on the forecheck, worked back. McIntyre picks it up, looks over his options, off the skate and back the other way. McIntyre couldn't connect there as she'll try to now press it over on the far side. A battle out by the red line. That was Leslie and Bria Tanner. Bria Tanner now picks it up, poked off of her stick and back in down low. Allie Chisholm will pressure. Puck work back past the defenseman Conley into her own zone. Prince picks it off on the clearing attempt. Centers, beaten, shot, blocked in front. Good job by Carrie Dorion. That goes off of her shin pad. Marley Payne shot blocked. Another shot attempt. Can't get it through. Finn, that one does. And the Caps cut the lead to 2. On a goal in front, bearing it home is going to be Jaudry. And it is now 4-2. Just over halfway through the second period, the Caps cut the lead in half on a goal in the slot on the third or fourth opportunity and making it now 4-2 as Chloe Jaudry, as it's sent back inside the blue line, sent right back into the neutral zone, sent right back in all over on the far side. Here's a chance, Driscoll trying to bury it home. Wilkie back to the point, D2D. Picking up the assist on the second goal will be number 14, Eleanor McHenry. Wheeled back into the neutral zone. McLean, good job by Driscoll to keep her feet going, take a penalty as she picks up in the corner. McLean trying to turn it over, she does. McLean shot off the pad, rebound poked away by Harlan, far side. Picked up, can't get it out though, was Kearney. Good job by MacArthur, worked back. McIntyre across the point, works it down the slot. Good stick by Driscoll, worked out. Burris offside at the blue line as Burris, one extra stick handle, sent the team offside. 7:25 remaining. And a 4-2 hockey game now. On a goal off of Chloe Jaudry. So number 14 and 15 for the Caps connecting on the second goal. As McHenry's going to pressure that puck. Puck up the wall, centered. Sean Richard doesn't connect, sent back in from the far side by Josie Leslie. Puck worked up, good job by Sydney Power on the forecheck. They turn it over and send it back in down deep. Boyle picks it up, wheels the net, centers. Under the stick, though, of Richards up at the middle. Chip back up ahead, picked up over the blue line by Richards. She'll work it back into the neutral zone as Payne steps up and dumps it all the way back down in. Field stops it up behind her net. McIntyre losing her feet, chips it up the wall into the neutral zone. Payne stepping up at the blue line. Works it up, Ashbridge has Dowling with her. Ashbridge works it in, drop pass, Dowling shot, pad save. Rebound, another pad save by Field. Amy Field shutting the door there. Two quick chances. Sent right back in by the Caps as they look to keep the pressure on. McIntyre out there still. Hasn't been able to change. Walter holds the lines. tipped on. Ashbridge, rebound. Field holds on as it goes next to her net. And a whistle. Amy Field will hold on and settle things down, give her a chance for her defenseman to get a quick change. As you saw the game plan, that was Boyle out there with her, and they just kept the pressure on McIntyre and Boyle. Now they head off for a change. McLean out there on the defensive zone draw, right off the draw shot, and Field holds on once again. 5:59 remaining here in the second period. 4-2 lead for the Selects. McLean wins it back, rimmed around on the forehand by Dorion, picked up on the far side by MacArthur. Trying to chip it up ahead as it's turned over. Prince works it back. D-to-D play, far side, centering pass, finds Prince over the blue line, works it onside. She had to cut back, stay onside. Nice cut up the wall. Ainsley Conley sends it wide though on the dump-in attempt. Beaton works it out front and held on to there. Good job on that try there. Carly Beaton turned it over down low, and she tried to center it out front, where the most recent goal scorer, Chaudhry, was trying to bury her second home. Ella Driscoll will dig in. Driscoll trying to win it forward on the draw. Picked up down low. Parsons. Pressured by Burris. Works it up the wall, but not out. Sent back in deep. Good job to hold the line was Leslie. Driscoll trying to work it back down low. Can't do so. Sent over. Tanner dumps it in. Far side. Bria Tanner as Allie Chisholm will give chase. Reverse play. Far side. Picked up by Francis McDonald, and Burris will have to retreat in the neutral zone. D-to-D. Grinton dumps it in deep. Leslie behind her own net, works it up, trying to chip it out on a deflection. Burris kept it in deep. Down low. Francis McDonald works it to the point. Grinton, cycle play down low. Past Payne. In behind, worked back to the point. Grinton takes a shot right into the chest and held on to for a whistle by Lauren Delaney. Good job there to hold on to the puck as the Selects had some players hang around the net. Now here on the offensive zone draw with 3 goals on the game is Hallie Rose McLean. She's gone post and in, I think, twice now. As it goes D-to-D, bobbled under the stick, and Carly Boyle can't keep it in. McIntyre back on the ice after her extended shift last time. MacArthur centers. Boyle over the blue line. She'll work it in. Drop pass. Shot there. Sent wide past the glove of Delaney. Asbridge in there. Helping out down on the wing. She works it back. Wilkie loses control. Centering pass from McLean. Doesn't connect. Far side, Dowling works it up the wall. O'Dane goes down. Held at the line. Boyle sends it right back in. Delaney will cover up for a whistle. .348 remaining in a 4-2 lead for the Selects as the Capitals lead the shot category 21-19 here in the second period. Sean Richards will dig in against McHenry. Battled back to the point. Boyle's shot sent wide. McIntyre's going to retreat. Picked up here with speed through the neutral zone, and chipping it up was Kelly. And an icing call here. Power would have got to it first, but Abigail Kelly couldn't get center. And an icing call here will send them back into their D zone for a defensive zone draw with 3:36. Richards on her backhand now with McHenry on her backhand. Puck battled for there. McHenry trying to get to it. Cycled back in behind LaPierre. Pressured. Reversed for Walter. Up for Kelly. Touch to the middle for McHenry over the red line. Now caught up at the blue line and turned over, but picked up by Power. Works it back. Walter. Up for Kelly. Kelly at center, trying to get it in deep. Can't do so as it's picked up by Dorion. Carrie Dorion works up the wall, picked off Jodry. She's got the second goal for the Caps, works it here. McHenry chips it in. She'll peel off for a change. Prince will hop over the boards with Beaton. Richards gets taken down. No call on the play. They'll play on. Shot there. Pad save by Field. Cycled by Jodry. In behind the net, Dorion. Nice little D-to-D play there. Conley couldn't get it out of the zone, though. Turned over. Jodry trying to get it in deep. Picked up here for the neutral zone. Martin sends it in deep. She'll head off for a change. So will the rest of her four teammates. Over on the far side, full line change. Payne picks it up in her corner. Chipped it up. Picked up. Trying to work it to the middle of the ice. She does so. Here's a chance. Jodry over the blue line. Delayed call coming up here. Jodry finally goes down, and that'll blow a whistle. And it looks like it's going to be a hooking call as the stick was tied up into the midsection of Chloe Jodry, and a power play coming up for the Capitals as heading off to the box. Rogan Vent will sit 4-2. Power play for the Capitals coming in, running at just 7% this year. They look to get going here as the PK for the Northern Selects is running at a whopping 93% on the season. Rimmed around to the far side, Payne. The Subways have 128 penalty minutes on the year, make it 130 now. Centering pass, Driscoll in front, rebound over to the side, cleared away by McIntyre. Kearney down low. Parsons back for Kearney on the far side. Works it back to the point. Payne back down. Kearney under her stick. She'll have to get some help from Parsons. Up the far side wall. Parsons will cut back down. Driscoll will cut up to the high slot. Driscoll backhand shot into the feet. Picked up in the corner by Leslie. Back to the point. Payne for Leslie. Leslie's shot blocked by McLean and sent down the full length of the ice. No icing on the call. Delaney left it there for Payne. Payne, stretch pass up ahead. Parsons centers with some speed. Kearney gonna try to split the D. She gets hooked up. No call on the play there. Parsons, far side, takes her time with it. Up over the circles on her backhand. Drop play Driscoll around one. She'll take her time. Inside a minute now remaining in the period. 40 seconds on the power play. That's shot on by Leslie and sent wide. Burris trying to clear. Held in by Leslie. She'll walk across to the middle. Josie Leslie's shot. Glove saved by Field. And she'll hold on for a whistle. 30 seconds exactly remaining on the power play. 44 on the clock here in the second period. Offensive zone draw going to go to the glove hand side. The Caps going to talk over maybe a quick play off the draw to see if they can't capitalize on the power play. Beaton out there to take the draw. She'll face off against Sean Richards. Rimmed around to the far side and all the way down. Pass LaPierre. LaPierre will stop up behind her own net and set up the breakout. Worked up the wall, Beaton. She'll pick it up. Cut to the middle and work it across the red line there was Wilkie. She'll cut back, work it over. Jodry, fake a drop pass, trying to get it to the middle. Richards picks it off. Good job on the back check by Prince. She'll turn it over on the far side wall. Jodry pressured. She'll cut back, trying to work it to the net. Jodry goes down. No call. Prince, good back check once again, but it's not enough as the Selects work it back here with 3 seconds remaining on the clock, and that'll do it here for the second period. So after 2 periods of play, the Selects lead the Capitals by a score of 4-2. We'll be back here for third period of action after this short intermission here on High Button Sports. Welcome back here for our third period of action live on High Button Sports between the Capitals and the Northern Subway Selects here inside the Hector Arena in Pictou, Nova Scotia. I'm Logan Crothers. This game's brought to you by High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in. Coming into the third period, the Subway Selects lead by a score of 4-2. Quick little, Fisher's gonna check the net and behind the goal as the mesh was flipped up over top of the boards. Tries to flick it up underneath the door. See, gets it back in behind now, and we are set for third period of action in this two-goal hockey game in this U18 Female Maritime League matchup. And we're underway here as it's sent in just inside the blue line, chipped right back out, centering pass for McLean. She'll try to chip it in, down in deep, can't do so. It's got stopped up just outside the ringette line and sent back here by Chloe Jodry. She has the second goal for the Capitals. No icing on the play. McIntyre on her backhand will rim it around. Jodry will intercept the centering pass and cycle it down low for Prince. Over on the far side, Beaton knocked off of her stick. She'll get it back. Beaton down low. Backdoor pass under the stick of Prince. She couldn't bury it home. The Capitals having a good start to each of these three periods so far in this game. Stopping up MacArthur just inside the red line. She'll work it back. Boyle off the wall. McIntyre chipping it up ahead. McLean dumping it in deep, and all five selects will change. Picked up with speed. Leslie gets center, dumps it in deep. No icing. Field leaves it there and behind for Conley. She'll rim it over to the far side. Too far to the reach for Richards. Back in the middle. Here's Wilkie chipping it up off the wall and in. O'Dane will pressure Richards. Picks it up in the middle of the ice over to the far side. Chipped out by Dorian, and Wilkie will collect. They'll regroup. Here's Harlan. Centering pass right on the backhand of Dowling over the blue line. She'll chip it in, down in, and she'll forecheck now. Good job there on the forecheck. It's number 27, Haley Dowling for the Caps. Shot there, tipped on. Field poked away momentarily. Rebound, shot pad save by Field. Beatrice Ashbridge was alone in front. She got the shot away. O'Dane centers, picked off, chipped back off the skates and out into the neutral zone. Wilkie, backhand pass, picked off. Richards touches center, dumps it in. She'll peel off. Another full line change for the Selects. Great start here for the third period for the Capitals. Once again, starting the period off strong. Puck battled for here. Lila Burris stepping up. Got to be careful not to let anyone sneak in behind you. No icing on the play as it goes all the way back. Grinton can't get to it first. Sent in behind. Kearney down low. She gets pinched off the puck. Picked up. Driscoll back to Lapierre. Bounces over a stick off the ice. And all the way down. Delaney out to play it. Cross ice pass for Walter. Trying to chip it out. Turned over. McLean pressured Driscoll. On McLean. Shot there. Sent wide. Burris goes all the way back. No icing as it was on the shot attempt from Hallie Rose McLean. She picks it up. Lila Burris cuts back. Hard D-to-D pass. Too far to the reach of Ella Gritton. And Lapierre will step up and cycle it back down low. Parsons in behind. Centering pass. Driscoll can't get the shot away. Driscoll cycling it down low. Parsons centers out in front all the way back. Past the stick of Lapierre. And she'll have to go back. Lapierre works it right up off the wall. Power picks it up. Gets center. Dumps it in. Forecheck will continue. McHenry will give chase. Parsons goes to the bench. McHenry and Power now. Down low, Power cycles for McHenry. She'll take it up the wall a little bit, turn it over though, and that's Frances McDonald cutting back in behind her own net. She'll leave it. McIntyre will leave it there for Boyle. In front, rebound off the pad. Picked up by Frances McDonald. And here's a chance trying to work to the middle. Was number 2, Bria Tanner. She goes all the way down into the net. and that'll stop play. 16-15 remaining in the third period, and what a start for the Capitals it's been here in the opening 4 minutes of the third period. Face-off looks like it's going to stay inside. Blocker side of Lauren Delaney. She's seen 19 shots tonight, and the Capitals have 25 shots on goal here this evening. We'll give and go back to the point. Worked off the wall, centering pass, shot there. McLean fanned on it as McLean was looking for number 4 on the night. She tried to let a one-timer go. She couldn't get all of what she wanted on it. And McLean will stay out there. Looks like she'll take the draw here on her forehand. She's out there with MacArthur. And McHattie worked off the draw. Jodry with some speed. Poked off her stick and offside at the line. That'll stop play here. 15:55 remaining on the clock here in the third period of action. 4-2 lead for the Selects. The clock didn't stop during the play, so the clock's here about 20 seconds off of the marker. 15:30 remaining. Worked in by the Capitals. They look to get back in on the forecheck. Jodry in there with Prince. They turn it over. Jodry down low on her backhand. Cycled down for Zara Prince. Glove to hand, glove to stick. Work back Leslie. Walks. Cycle play down low. McLean picks it off and works it back here to the neutral zone. Payne steps up. Good smart play there by Payne to force the dump. Leslie works it up the wall. Picked off though by McLean. Hallie Rose McLean with the puck, works it down the wall on the far side. McLean's shot on the ice, sent wide. Back to the point. Dorion cycled down low for McHattie. Payne picks it off. She'll rim it around to the far side. Ashbridge on her forehand trying to chip it out. Can't do so as it's sent right back in down low by Ainsley Conley. Payne through the neutral zone. She'll cut to the middle. Over the blue line now, Marley Payne. Drop pass, shot pad saved by Field. Dowling down low, centering pass, back to the point. Wilkie's shot, blocked as it never got off the ice. Wilkie steps up inside the blue line, dishes it off. O'Dane shot, glove saved by Field. On a distance shot there from Charlotte O'Dane, and a whistle will stop play here. Face off, gonna stay on the glove side of Amy Fields. She's seen 27 shots now, and she's made 25 saves on the night. Driscoll here. Offensive zone draw on her forehand. We'll have a quick chat. We might add a couple seconds here to the clock. 14:14 remaining on the clock. We'll see if they add or maybe hold the clock here. Wait and see. They add about 5 seconds on the clock. Sean Richards works it up the wall. Evelyn McLeod in through the neutral zone. Across the line, Richards. She loses a handle. She holds the stick though. No call on the play. They'll play on. Power plays 2-1 in favor of the Selects here. Maybe see if they end up tying the power play tallies up here in the third period. Subway Selects 50% on the power play today. Came into the game at 93% on the season. Harlan chips it up, too far out of the reach though of Kearney as it goes over to the far side. Parsons steps up, pokes it in past Burris. She'll give chase. Kearney in there as well. Takes a bump from Burris. Parsons trying to work it out front, can't do so. McLean picks it up. She'll get her feet moving. Good back check by Driscoll, and McLean will dump it in. Ella Driscoll, great job defensively there by her. She's got a task and a tough one at that, trying to shut down the captain and the leading point getter here in this U18 Maritime Female League in Hallie Rose McLean. Done a pretty good job. Been a tough one. Just kind of got assigned that task, it seemed like, midway through the second period. After the hat-trick goal from McLean, shot there, blocked, rebound picked up by McIntyre. Ever since the midway point of that second period, Driscoll shut down McLean, but she does have 3 goals on the game, and That shot into the chest of Delaney held on for a whistle as the shot off the wing came from Rogan Vint. Face off, glove side of Lauren Delaney. Beaten on the defensive zone draw will face off against Fife Francis McDonald as McDonald works it to the wall. Chipped out though. Icing on the call though will be whistled down as that goes all the way down. Trying to get it up just out of the zone was the defenseman Josie Leslie, but she put too much on it and it goes down. Full length icing call. Face off goes back down. 12:33 remaining in the game. 4-2 lead for the Selects. Cycled down low. Payne trying to keep it moving, picked off. Tanner centers, doesn't connect, and it's worked back. Here's a 2-on-2 through the neutral zone. Jodry will work it wide, chip it in, and she'll give chase. Jodry gets to it first. She'll cut back up in the corner, trying to get it free. Back to the far side, Allie Chisholm trying to work it out. She does. Payne, she'll dump it all the way back in as she was over center. No icing. Field will stay in her net. Beaton will give pressure over there on the far side. Trying to work it to the middle was Chisholm. Sent right back in. Offside as change. Stepping out off the bench, McHenry. She'll be the first into pressure. Far side worked up for Chisholm, and she'll chip it out. Payne, she'll go D-to-D for Leslie. Leslie up ahead. Kelly dumps it in. She'll take a bump for her efforts as Field in there. McHenry turns it over. Shot there. Kelly, rebound. Shot wide. McHenry in the corner. She'll cut back down low. Kelly in her feet finds it. Works it up over the circles now. Kelly in the slot. Cuts back. Tied up and loses a handle and picked up Fife Francis McDonald over center. Cuts to the middle. Loses a handle as Harlan picks it up, rims it around for Power. She'll get some pressure by Burris stepping up there. That'll take away the icing. All the way back, Ella Gritton. She'll wheel the back of her net. She'll stop up in the far side. Nice move there. Delay the pressure. McLean too far out of her reach. Couldn't get enough on it. McHenry high slot. Shot there. Rebound picked up by Burris. Burris trying to cut up the middle. Turned over. Good forecheck McHenry. Down low, Asbridge centers. In the front, shot there off the glove. Rebound in behind. What a chance for Dowling. Right off the bench and right into the action. McLean chips it up. Just out. Dumping in attempt. Blocked by Tanner. Off the bench, O'Dane getting right into the action in front of her bench. Picked up by Burris. She gets over the blue line. Lila Burris shot. Right on net. Held on to for a whistle by Delaney once again. Walter mixing it up on the far side there. Looked like with Ashton McHattie. McLean out there with MacArthur and McHattie up front on the offensive zone draw. Capitals looking to get it out. McLean, good back check, turns it over. MacArthur picks it up. Toe drag attempt, knocked away. O'Dane now through the neutral zone. Over the blue line, Charlotte O'Dane, cut to the net. Shot there, goes wide. Far side, Asbridge in there, trying to turn it over, and she does. She'll try to cycle it back down low. She kicks it down low for Charlotte O'Dane. She gets pinched off by McIntyre, cycled down low. O'Dane shot there into the glove, and Field holds on for a whistle. Just over halfway through the third period, 4-2 lead for the Selects, and the pressure still coming here for the Capitals. They're up to 31 shots now on the evening. Driscoll digs in, offensive zone draw. Worked over to the far side. Payne shot sent wide. In behind, Driscoll trying to get the rebound off the shot attempt, and the net off its bearings will stop play. Leslie had her shot blocked. As the rebound comes off the end boards, out in front, Driscoll couldn't bury it home. 9:40 remaining here on the game clock in the third period. Driscoll, offensive zone draw, can't win it back. Worked into the neutral zone, sent right back in. Parsons trying to get it in deep, can't do so. Payne, D-to-D, Leslie up ahead, off the body. Here's Driscoll with speed through the middle. Driscoll over to the far side, down low. The captain, Ella Driscoll, cuts back. She cuts back again. She'll try to cycle it down low. Not enough on it, but she picks it up down and behind the net as it got cycled by the Selects defenseman. Centering pass in front for Kearney. In her feet, can't find it. McLean picks it up. Driscoll's going to have to work her way back and try to get puck dumped in by McLean as she touched center. She peels off for a change. Picked up. Leslie, a head man for Driscoll. Backhand dump in. Far side, Parsons will pressure. She'll pinch it down the wall. Good job by Parsons. Conley rims it around. Jodry off the bench. She'll cycle the play. Down low. Up off a stick and into the mesh and up on a play. For a stoppage of play here. 8:39 remaining in the third period. Offensive zone draw once again here. Beaton trying to win it back. Jodry down low. On her forehand, centering pass, puck loose in front. Picked up and in behind her own net. Dorion works it up the wall. Chipping it out into the neutral zone. And gonna give chase. Good back check by Jodry on Martin as it's dumped in by Harlan. She'll retreat back. Pressure by Jodry up off the wall and back into the neutral zone. Wilkie sends it right back in deep. Jodry will peel off. Beaton's gonna chase. Field mishandled the puck over into the corner. Sent back on a reverse. Conley trying to chip it out. Good forecheck here once again. Out of the corner. Centering. Kelly can't connect. McHenry off the bench. Down low. She gets pinched off in the corner. Leaves it for Kelly. Kelly on her backhand. She'll switch with LaPierre. Shot tipped wide by Power in front. McHenry centering for Power. Puck loose and behind McHenry. Centers once again. Puck loose in the slot. Far side, Walter stepped up. McHenry far side, half wall. MacArthur. McLean trying to chip it around. She gets pinched off in front of her bench by Power. Chipped up ahead. McHenry will have to go back, leaving for LaPierre. Leave it over here. Kelly touching it to the middle. McHenry dumping it in deep. She takes a bump. Kelly picks it up. Down low, Burris will pressure. Trying to work it to the far side. Here is the captain, Hallie Rose McLean. Far side picked up here with some speed is Vint. She'll dump it in as she hits center. Peel off for a change. Pressure coming from Kate Morrow. Power works it to the middle off a skate up in the air. Leslie works it right back for Power. Cross ice pass goes off the player of the Selects. No icing. Field tried to stop it. One off her stick. Ended up working out as Grinton worked it up through the middle into some feet. O'Dane can't turn it over. Now Ashbridge picks it up. O'Dane with some speed. Ashbridge shot blocked. Burris rebound. Can't bury it home. Laying down on the ice on the far side. Hasn't moved much yet was Ashbridge after she let the shot go. Dowling and an offside as making her way to the bench, and a delayed offside now will get called as Ashbridge was slow to get up, and she finally makes her way to the bench now. Maybe got a stick up in the throat area and a face-off. Gonna come outside the subway zone, 6:17 remaining. 2-goal deficit here for the Capitals on the road as Driscoll will dig in against Fife Francis McDonald as that one back, D to D. Boyle picks it up, chip play up in the air into the neutral zone. Driscoll will collect it. Far side, Payne up ahead. Centering in behind Driscoll, doesn't connect, and it's chipped back into the neutral zone. Leslie steps up, has it bounce over her stick. Payne there to recover for her. Parsons chips it up and in past McIntyre down low. Driscoll gets to it first. Wait and see how long the goaltender stays in. They trail by 2, so they need 2 here. It's been a while since the Selects have really seen the other end. Chip play picked off though by Tanner. Good stick, Kearney works it back. Leslie down low. Tanner works it out front off the back of the net. Puck sitting there. Picked up. Leslie works it up the wall. Picked off by McLean. Trying to work it up to the middle. Good job by Beaton to take that away. Kearney on the half wall. Works it up through the middle of the ice into the neutral zone. Kearney over the line. She'll dump it in on a high flip as McIntyre in there to pick it up. She'll cut back in behind her net as she's pressured. Nice couple moves on a nice spin play by Lexi McIntyre, showing why she played on Team Atlantic and won a silver medal. As that puck goes up and out of play off the stick of Boyle and into the Selects bench. Stoppage play will result in a face-off just outside the Selects bench to the far side of the ice, where Jodry will dig in, or sorry, Beaton will dig in. Jodry out there with her. Puck worked, turned over though. Here's Prince, shot off the glove and off the chest protector up over the net. Jodry, so Amy Field just getting enough on it to keep it out of the back of her net. Beaton down low on her backhand. Getting some pressure there. Prince in there to help out on the half wall. Sarah Prince. Work back. Wilkie steps up. Trying to work it back in deep through the feet. Nice pass there. That connects with Ashton McHattie. She dumps in. Anna MacArthur will pressure. It's worked up the wall for Jodry. That's Chloe Jodry. She's got the second goal. Nice delay. That went offside. No, says the official. As that's picked up, Prince will dump it in. Keep play moving. McHenry gets to it first, down in the corner. She'll cut back. Nice move to try to keep it down low, but taken away from her. Ainsley Conley works it up the wall into the neutral zone with some speed, knocked off of her stick. Just inside. Now Sean Richards will try to work it up in and over. Richards gets pressured. Good job on the back check by Kearney. Shot there from distance, blocked in front. Burris steps in off the point and works it down low. Turned over. Here's a shot. Pad save and held on to by Delaney on the shot attempt from Evelyn McLeod. That'll stop play. Offensive zone draw now for the Selects. They lead 4-2, but the Capitals, with all the pressure here in the third period, they lead the shot category 35-23. Offensive zone draw, trying to win it back was Richards. The puck in the feet now, worked back Burris. Sends it back down low. Off the official as Dowling picks it up now. Works it up into the neutral zone. Dowling chipping it up ahead. O'Dane down low. Too far out of her reach, and they'll battle on the end wall. Ashbridge in there. Grinton in there trying to get it out. And she has some support from the centerman Sean Richards. Richards turns it back for Burris. Up the wall for Grinton. Centers, far side. Just out of the reach, though, on the far side for McLeod. And Dowling off her stick. McLean almost picked it off. Dowling gets it back now. Over the blue line. Works it in. Delaney goes to the bench. 2:40 remaining. Centering pass off the skate. McLean works it back to the point. Leslie. Shot. Looking for a stick. Got to be careful. McLean sneaking in behind. Leslie. Gonna have to get back for it. Last man back there is Payne. Far side, chipping it over the stick of McIntyre. Good job to hold it. Driscoll goes into the boards awkwardly. She gets up now. Far side. Leslie, cross ice pass. Parsons picks it up. Net empty. 6-on-5. Prince off the bench. Down low. Parsons trying to center. Rebound, loose there. Still loose in front. Still loose. Now Field will hold on to it, and that'll stop play. Driscoll in there trying to get it buried home. 2:05 and a timeout here called by the Greenfoot Capitals. We'll be back after this quick timeout break. So welcome back for the last 2 minutes and 5 seconds of this 2-goal hockey game. The Capitals 6-on-5 offensive zone draw. Captain Ella Driscoll will dig in on her forehand side. Cleared away. McIntyre will rim it around to the far side. MacArthur trying to chip it out into the feet though. Far side of Payne. Clearing attempt, knocked down. Driscoll will collect it and work it right back in over the blue line. Driscoll leaves it for Parsons on the far side. Parsons gonna cut towards the net. Shot there, rebound. Parsons picks it up. Rebound in front. Payne's gonna step in, let the shot go. Blocker save, and the rebound held on to by Field with a glove blocker type save. Reaching across her body and securing it to the blocker was Amy Field. Face-off gonna stay inside over to the far side. We're gonna talk over who's gonna be on the draw. It looks like Driscoll will dig in. Payne up here at the point. One back, centering attempt, picked up. Kearney, she'll work it down low on a cycle for Driscoll. Picking it up on her backhand. Burris in there pressuring. McLean dumped down. Will it be enough for icing? Yes, it will. It'll go 200 feet. An icing call here. 1:23 remaining in the third period. Trailing by 2. Capitals have 6 attackers out there. Josie Leslie and Marley Payne on the point as try to get her separated away from everyone. Leslie works it over. Payne off of her stick down the half wall. Chip back into the neutral zone. Leslie cycles it back up the wall. Battled here just in front of the Capitals bench. Jodry picks it up, works it over the blue line. Turned over. McLean chipping up ahead for MacArthur. Leslie, good defensive play there, and we're inside a minute now remaining in the third period of action. Driscoll, far side, picks up with some speed through the neutral zone. Ella Driscoll trying to cut to the middle, knocked off of her stick. Here's McLean inside the blue line, shot blocked by Payne. As McLean looking for her 4th goal of the game. Up the wall, centering. Parsons can't connect. It's turned over. MacArthur, nice move through the feet though. Burris shot blocked. Parsons dumped in. Burris holds it though. Up for McLean. Shot that goes down and finds the middle of the net. And Hallie Rose McLean adds on to her point total. And she'll have 4 goals here this evening as she adds on an empty netter from Lila Burris. And a 4-goal performance from Hallie Rose McLean now makes it 5-2 here for the Subway Selects at home. Off the draw, Sean Richards dumps it in. 15 seconds now remain on the clock here in the third period, and a 5-3 lead for the Selects will solidify the win here for them as it's down low, worked up the wall by Richards. As Burris will pick up the assist. That'll be her 2nd assist, and that'll do it for the game. Thanks for tuning in here on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers, and the Subway Selects with a 5-2 victory here over the Greenfoot Capitals. 4 goals for Hallie Rose McLean to add on to her point total. She's now got 36 points on the season, and she'll lead the league after today. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Carruthers live with High Button Sports. Have a good one, folks. See you later.